What's good, y'all? Brain Trust here, rocking with the Gaslamp Killer, Daedelus, Teebs, and Samiyam. What's up, y'all? Y'all just rocked Church Boston, man. How was it?
That's why we're so sweaty.
It was great.
Good run. So, Daedelus, this is your first real time out in Boston. Finally made it out. How does it feel?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, nobody was racially prejudiced against, which was a difficulty before. No cops came, which is difficult before. No acts of nature.
This party's got shut down a few times.
Yeah, success.
2010, finally.
I'm so happy to be here. The crowd was so nice and forgiving and wonderful. And honestly, these guys have been such a pleasure to tour with because, dude, it happens. It happens on stage every night. It's wonderful. We've done ourselves, you mean?
I want to know if y'all could talk a little about about Fly Low's Brain Feeder label and the whole low end theory movement that y'all just sort of bringing out of LA. You know what I mean? It's exploding right now in 2010. Can y'all talk about how that originated? Yeah. Mr. Killer, Mr. Low End.
Well, Low End was Daddy Kev's idea. He asked me, DJ Nobody, edit, and No Can Do,
Just do a night there?
do a night at the airliner. He's like, I found this awesome club, and so we went to the spot, and we thought it was great. And we've been doing it 4 years now, and it's been a fucking beautiful thing. And now we got D-Styles. His edit was too busy with work, so we got D-Styles instead.
Sure.
And Brain Feeder was Flying Lotus's Dub Lab radio show.
Okay.
And he named his radio show after that. Me and Sam, Ross G, DiBiase, Pudge, Fly Low, we were all playing beats on Dub Lab radio all day, and that was the name of his radio show. And he developed that into kind of a crew with me, Sam, Ross, and him, and that started becoming kind of touring entity and label.
You guys got it blown up now. Do you want to keep moving in this direction where you guys are touring all together? You want to keep moving there? You just always like that? Always all
it's one of
together?
those things we've all been in the experience. We've all toured a fair bit. I mean, some just a little less, but we've all spent a little time on the road. And when you have this kind of idea of what music can be, where it can be a pluralistic thing, you can play all kinds of music, and kids are into it. You don't have to play one genre or another. And when you're around other musicians who aren't necessarily familiar with that concept, it limits you. You feel like, oh, maybe you second guess yourself. And so when you tour all together, honestly, having Sam play before GOK, before me, or whatever the lineup is going to be at various times, it's it opens doors, allows you to have more freedom. So you want to have this moment continue forever.
Right. Definitely.
I think that rolling with the friends is the most confidence you could ever have.
Definitely.
Versus rolling up to a club where there's a million techno DJs lined up before you and you're in a back room with strangers like we are every fucking other week in England and in Europe and shit, and you're in there with legends on this other music
whole different
front.
stratosphere, yeah.
And now instead we're all on the same page and we all understand what each other does and we all respect the music, and there's never a point where we are covering our ears or in another room. We could be in the room the whole time and enjoy all the music we're hearing from our friends. That's
and that is
deal.
Brain Feeder, and that is Dub Lab, and that is
all the collective together.
And that's just this openness.
Yeah.
Low End Theory, Dub Lab, Brain Feeder.
Yo, Sam, I wanted to ask you, just coming from Ann Arbor, the Midwest style. I feel how has that influenced your music? I feel it's different from everybody else. You know what I mean?
Growing up in Michigan, I'm sure I heard different shit on the radio as these guys did when I was riding in the car with my parents and stuff ever since I was a little kid.
I'm from Chicago, so I feel you on that.
Yeah. So, of course, I've had the influence from that, but then I was always listening to all kinds of hip-hop. I used to like all the East Coast shit the most. All the New York stuff. So that's been a big influence for me.
Word.
But I mean, it's been a big influence also on my whole approach to everything I've been doing musically. That I've been living out in Los Angeles and just being around these guys and hearing all the West Coast influence.
It definitely infuses both. I feel it brings it all together, man.
Yeah.
And Teebs, I wanted to ask you, man. You're a fucking painter, man. You're a skateboarder. You do it all. I feel how did you jump into music? How did that exactly happen for you?
A few little outlets. Through skating, you watch a lot of videos, and there's kids from all over the world skateboarding, making videos, putting them out, and they all have their soundtracks in their head. So you hear that, you know, you hear different music all over the place, like all over the country, all over the world, and just intake. But definitely, to be honest, it's kind of weird that we're doing this now, but these two kids, like,
Kids.
remember, yeah, I call them kids, 'cause, you know, like, we're living this lifestyle, you know, but I remember I can give them both specific moments, like really specific moments. I caught him, and he was opening up for an Anticon show, and like I had no idea who he was, and I came in, like, got rushed in, watched his set, and that blew me away, just seeing him working on the Monome and what he does, seeing how he just kind of has this freedom, like, that no one else expresses.
Yeah.
And then going to Low End Theory, when Low End Theory started, I know it sounds really cheesy, but yeah, these two guys, man, Low End Theory started, and I saw Willie play, and it was just something like, the idea of freedom, you know, just, these guys really play what they want to play. It's not just like sticking to certain boundaries or sticking to certain, like, what you should expect to hear.
It's like I feel like it's like mashup, but like not even like on a totally different level. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
bringing
definitely
Anything goes.
it's not even a
Educated
matchup.
music people playing dope shit.
Well, and
Exactly.
a mashup itself is like it's a synthesis, right? I mean, that's the idea. But you're taking two cliches and putting them together.
Okay.
And I feel like I don't know, maybe this is overthinking it, but like we're giving a lot of respect to our material. Where when Willie plays some like really rare Italian psych kind of rock, he might shout it out. He might let it just rock for a minute.
Right.
Whereas it isn't just about having it.
Yeah, the mix. It's not like a matchup thing. It's more just like a freedom of, like, I know all this music. I'm gonna bring you all this shit at once. And these guys did it for a long time, and I kind of like, I heard that a lot from these two. To be honest, like, they were very heavily influential. Not what they were exactly playing, but the fact that they were doing this in one setting, in one set.
expressing their
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hated what we were playing.
Yeah, the music was shit. It was fucking, yeah, the music was garbage, but it was just the way, it was just beautiful music, you know, stuff I wanted to hear, and then just like reaching all angles of my brain, just like, you know what, they're going here and going there, and if you can do that on stage, wow, why can't I, you know what I mean?
Let me do that.
Yeah, man, just like making beautiful stuff.
And Daedelus, yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Monome and how you. I mean, I know you didn't invent it, but it's sort of like you brought it to the front stage, playing it, using it live. Like, how was that for you? When did that start?
It was all luck, man. Like all of my life, I don't know about these guys, but man, my whole entire life has just been a series of happy coincidences. I was invited to play a show in San Diego. The guys who invited me down were like building the basic prototype of this machine. They only had one line. It was running, it's like 16 steps of this weird sequencer, and
Yeah.
I'd been dealing with samples all my life. I mean, I idolized these hip hop producers and these electronic musicians that dealt with samples, but it's something you do at home. You do in your computer and
Right.
you do it in an MPC, but then when it comes to live performance, like you know, back in the day, especially this was 2003, there was nothing.
Way before the
You either DJ'd it and you were like some crazy turntablist, or you had like an MPC on stage, but nobody really, like, you know, as good as people were back in the day, people like Exile, like people amazing on MPC, it has certain constraints, limitations. You can't, you know, especially trying to load like new samples, it would take like 5 minutes between songs back in the day. Like people would like wait while you were loading it. Anyway,
Zip
so
discs.
yeah, exactly. Like, can you imagine? So I saw this machine. It was like that was it. That was everything. I just begged and pleaded that guy, like, please let me like be in line to like know what this is.
Mhm.
And just through persistence, he built me one, and I kind of was like the prototype tester for a little while, I guess, or whatever it was. This weird relationship, and
Guinea pig.
exactly. And very, very fortunate, and it suited. It's like if you really are hunting. If you really have a vision or a thought and you're really hunting it, that thing might appear before you. Just be very open to the experience of it. So, not to sound like Oprah and the Secret or something. Very,
And we got just a couple weeks ago we hosted Blue, your boy. So
Nice.
I wanted to ask about you guys working on New York, because I know a whole bunch of you guys are on it. How did that come about? Did he approach you? Did you guys approach him?
you know, he's been a guy in the LA.
Definitely.
I mean, he's just the man for LA for a while now, and he's doing these big moves and he's working on new stuff, and I think he's just trying to broaden his horizon. He's had very good work with Exile in the past,
Definitely.
very strong work, and I think he's just trying to explore more of that city that is him,
Cool.
maybe.
And I just wanted to ask again to wrap it up. Like, what's next for you guys? What can we expect from the low end Brain Theater fam? What's good? Gas.
World domination.
You heard it first.
Pretty much shitting on the competition right now.
That's what's happening right now. Your album was like right in front of fucking Bass Nectar, number 6 on the electronic charts, man.
Teebs and I were head to head,
Yeah,
neck and neck, pushing the iTunes. But you know what? More importantly, real recognize real, and as the world gets more and more savage, the real starts to come out and shine even harder than it did before, and that's just what we're noticing more and more is as we get to this fucking unbelievably fucking awesome and sick place as human beings, as a race, we start to get a little bit deeper into ourselves and really start to realize what's really good. And I think that that's going to be great for us.
Cool, man. Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah, this is the Brain Trust. Gaslamp Killer.
Daedalus.
Teebs.
Samiyam.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Cheers.
Ow.